And for updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Akerijala joins us. Good morning, Aaron. How are you today?
Yes, a very good morning to you, Ayo. Good morning to you, Rufai. Good morning to you, Doctor. Rufai, you're trying to say something? Today? My day's been good.
I said, who are we defending today?
We ain't defending anybody. We would actually be asking more questions than probably giving answers today. But let's get it started today.
All right. The president says, journalists, verification, balance, fairness, knowledge, nation building.
Fair and balance. Aaron want to balance something. Be fair and balanced today.
Okay, let's get straight into it. For the brevity of time, let's get it started. Of course, today, it's the beginning of crucial encounters if the Super Eagles are to punch their way through to the World Cup in 2026. USA, Mexico, and Canada will be hosting the Mundial next year. And the Super Eagles have been given a lifeline. And I don't know, with all that has happened over the last 48 hours, we are hoping that will not be a big distraction. But whatever happens today at the Al Hassan Moulay Sports Complex in Rabat, Morocco, the Super Eagles will be taking on the Gabonese. And we'll be hoping that they actually come out tops because it's a one-off game. If they win today, they advance to the finals of the African playoffs. If they don't, tail between their legs. Away from that quickly. Now let's get into the crux of the matter. We all know what has been happening. But yesterday, one man tweeted, talking about the captain of the side, William Ekong Mwen. And this is what he had to say. Issues resolved. Outstanding financials cleared and on ground. Now, team is united and focused as before and on representing Nigeria with our maximum for the games ahead. Now, the Super Eagles have been embroiled in what some have said has been a distasteful protest. Some have said rightfully so. But these were the players yesterday heading towards training. So that was certain that they actually trained. Now, the downside to this particular picture, of this particular video being played right now, is the fact that the Super Eagles only have one training under their belt ahead of this crucial fixture. Because before the protestation happened, only 14 players were available amongst the 26 that were invited. So they didn't have the full complements of all the players in-house to actually perfect a system and perfect strategies. And that means they are going into this training very, very dangerous. Because some people say some people are born to play football. Sports science says otherwise. If you do not train, you cannot perform at the highest level. Argue with that. So how that would affect the outcome of this game today, we'll have to wait and see. But as we press it further, I must actually state this because I've done a lot of digging, and let's actually unravel this. Quite distasteful, as I must actually say, because the Nigeria Football Federation, according to what we heard, as of last week Wednesday, were given ₦1 billion confirmed. As Rufai will say, fact check me if you can, and if you want to. ₦1 billion was given to the Nigeria Football Federation last week, received by them for this qualification. So what happened between then, last week Wednesday, and just Tuesday, some few days ago, is a big question, and they will need to answer on that, because the truth is this: what was in dispute was around $189,000. That's in terms of some of the bonuses that needed to be paid. So, because if you take out $189,000, there's still more than enough. And questions are being asked because we heard that the Nigeria Football Federation actually flew private jet or probably chartered the plane to go and support the Super Eagles. Big question being asked. And now we'll still press it further. Across the last two games, now talking about the final qualifier series, which actually ended against Benin, where the Super Eagles blitzed the trail, literally. $2 billion has been given. When you actually look at it closely, according to sources, in the last 1 year, $6.5 billion has been given to the Nigerian Football Federation to prosecute matches for the Super Eagles. Some say for the entire team. And that is more than enough, because in the last 8 years before last year, they got $15 billion in 8 years. And in 1 year, they've gotten $6.5 billion. Why are we hearing that monies are not being paid? So big questions here. The Nigeria Football Federation, regardless of whether you have to backdate some of these particular bonuses to 2019 or not, this particular figure stands true. And why the boys are being owed is now a big question, because certainly with $2 billion coming in, this should be cleared off quite easily.
Aaron, you have brought a very important matter. You see, the corruption in sports is mind-blowing in this country. And I think we need to dig in. I think there needs to be a forensic audit of the members of NFF as we speak today. Because I also hear, and you can fact-check me, Aaron, that many years ago, that there had been a case where the EFCC investigated NFF and NFF members. True. That a case was even supposed to be in court, but they took that case out. I want that document of the EFCC finding of the NFF then to come out in public circulation. Anybody that has that document, please give us that document. Because now it's as if they've killed that matter. And I'm talking about even the former administration. NFF was investigated, EFCC investigated them. They said the money was going to millions of dollars. I don't know the exact amount, but I've caught a whiff of that story.
But if I
would
if
like
I were
to
follow up on that story,
that document of the investigation of EFCC and what happened to that court case and tie it into this. Hero, how can this NFF be flying private jets?
some might say it might not be private jet, but they chartered a plane.
How can we be chartering a plane at a point in time like this? What sacrifices are they supposed to make for the country? They are chartering planes. Their players have not been paid.
What unfortunate.
They're chartering planes and their players are staying in hotel accommodation that is very poor. So you now wonder who are the people really making sacrifices for sports in Nigeria. Yesterday we raised the question around maybe it's time for us to just sit back, sit this one out. I know it's contentious. Some people will say no, sports is needed for our nation right now. We need something that will bring people together, and sports plays that critical role. But we've continuously seen that despite the efforts of Nigerian sports people, the people who are supposed to be responsible for their welfare are the ones that are sabotaging the sports in itself. And so I also check if this is happening in football. I wonder what is happening in other sports that do not get as much attention. This is football, Nigeria. This is one of our most powerful exports when it comes to sports from Nigeria to the world. And look at how we are handling it.
In all fairness,
okay, be fair.
When it comes to things about remuneration of athletes, we thought it was a thing of the past. No, this is no. So my producer say I'm defending. No, so now the National Sports Commission, since they came in, they've insisted that athletes do come first.
So
and
why
as we've
did
seen,
this happen under this?
So now
National
that's
Sports
the big
Commission?
question. What role will the National Sports Commission who actually disburse these funds that we're speaking about? Because they actually were the ones that disbursed these funds to the Nigerian fund.
Yesterday?
They've not.
Have they released a statement?
So
it tells you what you need to know.
Who bailed them out? Where did that money come from? The money they used to settle all of this.
These monies were already approved. These monies have been approved by the president for quite some time right now.
So President Tinubu has done his job as a
Without,
diligent person,
Rufai, let me say
as
this
he
here.
should do.
Rufai, let me say this here. President Tinubu, in all fairness, has been spot on in funding sports, because it's unfortunate that we are still having a back and forth about the 17 billion that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually approved to pay the backlog of wages and salaries of all the national teams in football. That has not been done fully. Fully, I must say.
Defending anybody. The reports in the papers said it was President Tinubu that intervened to end this embarrassment.
God bless, because I called on him. He's a listening man. God will bless that man.
That is out there in the paper.
You see?
Now, you ask the question, what happened? Simple answer. Nigeria happened.
Yes.
And that is why the House House of Representatives, set up a committee to investigate, to audit all the grants that the Nigerian Football Federation had ever collected, say in the last 10 years or so, from both FIFA and CAF, the Confederation of African Football. That is still on the table. I don't think they have dissolved that committee. And our argument is that it's a good idea to, in fact, expose whatever is hidden. Whether it's the FIFA-sponsored stadium in Kebbi or the one in Ugborodo, unless we have that clear audit, we'll keep having this embarrassment of players not being paid. When it is not footballers, the other day it was basketballers. Yeah. and then they will be going on strike.
No, Doctor, in all fairness,
However,
I don't think we've ever heard, aside this, in the last 1 year, we've not heard about this. And also to correct that
but
paper.
it has happened in the past.
Yes, no, in past time, of course, we've taken that. Now, in the last 1 year, and to correct that paper, because these are some impeccable sources, I must actually tell you, I don't think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will involve himself in disbursing funds twice for the same purpose, because like I've said, that these monies had already been given long before now.
When we say it's the president that intervened, he doesn't need to carry a bag of cash.
Now.
If he had approved something and a particular officer is not acting, as president of Nigeria, the buck stops at his desk. He only needed to give a simple instruction.
Yes.
I want that money paid now. And that was what he did.
Give him his credits.
As for the match today, if we lose to Gabon, the people who held on to the bonuses, who caused the protest by the players, should be held responsible.
Bam!
For discouraging the players.
Bam!
But on the records, we have met Gabon 9 times. We were able to defeat them 5 times. Draws 3 times, 1 win. Today, the Eagles have to win. They have to be in that final.
Old Gabon team without a particular pair maker, Aubameyang. Let's see how it goes. Right now, that team is formidable.
All
very
we
formidable.
want is we need to audit the NFF. That's just
And
it.
heads must roll.
Our heads must
Let the
roll.
audit
Yes.
documents not just be hidden
And
somewhere.
President Tinubu, kudos to you. Thanks for doing this one. I will disagree with you on many things.
If we lose
on
today,
this one.
those NFF officials, they should just stay in Morocco. They should not come back home. Because we will hold them responsible.
Because if they lose, Waro go ni Morocco.
Anyway, thank you, Aaron.
Always a pleasure.
I have.
Always a pleasure.
Always verify your facts.
All right, Doctor, my facts are impeccable and spot on. I must say. Spot on, I must say.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.